Metal Slug XX. Mission 4, start! Heavy machine gun! Shot! Metal Slug XX. Mission 6, start. Thank you. Heavy machine gun. Flame shot. Rocket launcher! Metal Slug XX. Thank you. Heavy machine gun. Thank you. Thank you. Laser gun. Metal Slug XX. Thunder shot! Slug XX. Thank you. Zog at the sword. Metal Slug XX.
Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing tonight? This is not Super Robo Sunday, as is rather obvious. It's sort of robot-y related, but this will not be the Super Robo Sunday stream. This is basically just to finish off the accidental Metal Slug marathon, as this is the last, like, true Metal Slug game. We did 1 through 6 last night, and as some other people pointed out, you know, Metal Slug 7 / Metal Slug XX. You know what? Yeah, let's do that to finish off. We've got all the core games done. It shouldn't take more than an hour, I expect. I think it's 1 or 2 missions longer than your average Metal Slug, so yeah, I'd expect about an hour or so, and once we're done with that, I'll take a short break, and then we'll do the actual Super Robo Sunday. As for the teddies, I think they should be right. I think the game itself does run in 4:3, rather than the stretched display. We'll be using Fio again. I know we used Fio for Metal Slug 6, but we'll be using her for 7 for the same reason we used her in 6. The characters actually do have a mechanical difference in 6 and 7. Fio's unique thing being that she gets a free heavy machine gun whenever she respawns. The other option I was tossing up was maybe Marco, because his base pistol does double damage. What else? I can't remember what the others do. This guy has like a weird punch attack that you might have seen on the pre-roll, the tracked screen. Eri has double grenade stock, I think. Tama does something with the Metal Slugs. And I don't even remember on this guy. But we'll be going with Fio, because that heavy machine gun on respawn, pretty hard to argue with.
Mission 1. Start.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'm right. There we go. Let's have a non-stretched mode. Can indeed keep the teddies. As with yesterday, I am by no means an expert at these games. Do not expect an extreme display of skill of any kind here. Expect much deaths and many CCs, This will not be a 1cc clear. Thankfully, whatever weird graphical issues that we were having with Slug 6 has gone away. Game looks absolutely phenomenal again. How do I... Ah. Okay, that makes sense. It's bound... The switch weapon buttons change from game to game. It's bound to the back buttons now, rather than one of the face buttons, which makes more sense input-wise. Yeah, the coins. So you'll notice the sort of like the heat meter that builds up as we're getting a combo. When that maxes out, like this, enemies drop coins. It also multiplies your score by times 16 when you're in max out. They are useless in a like game progression sense. They are literally just there for score. Which obviously in the arcade mode would, like, if you're not arcade mode, but like if you're playing this in an actual arcade, that would be pretty important. But obviously on the home console release, not as exciting. Though I still try to, like, where possible, get a good score. Yeah, alright, that was a good first stage. I like that. A decent impression so far of Slug 7. Shenanigans are afoot.
Mission 2, start.
Interdimensional reinforcements?
Heavy machine gun.
Now, which bullet pattern are you using? Okay, you're using the old school bullet pattern, that's fine. That's easy to deal with. It was the bullet pattern in 6 that they had that was awkward to deal with. They actually had to shuffle back and forth through even just the regular patterns. And before they start breaking out the patterns, the bullet patterns from 6 as well.
Thank you.
Shotgun. Fuck yeah. I think they've nerfed the sound effect for the shotgun. That's unfortunate. It was very powerful sound effect. It's still a very powerful weapon. I'm good at video games. It's still a very powerful weapon, it just doesn't quite have the oomph to its sound effect in this one, which is a shame. Part of what makes a meaty shotgun is having good sound effects. Even if your shotgun has a meaty game effect, if it doesn't have a meaty sound effect to go with it, it loses some of the impact. Sound design is very important, kids. More so in some games than others, like JRPGs, you can probably get away with it, but you don't want to get away with it, mind you. You always want to like heavy focus on sound design and have good quality audio and sound effects. But there are games where you can get away with it. But a game like this, not somewhere you can get away with it. You gotta have good sound effects, or like first-person shooters, you need to have like meaty gun sound effects. Hell. Horror games. Actually, horror games is most important to have good sound design. Possibly the most important thing. More than anything, the sound design can make or break a horror game. Ooh. Metal Slug. Slug car. It seems like in a pure value for quarters sense, Theo would be the best character. She respawns every time with a heavy machine gun. Shit. This is a pretty wild boss fight, actually. I like this.
Mission.
This is pretty good so far. The reason I'm sort of shocked is I'd heard most of the later Metal Slug games are quite bad, but like, well, 4 was pretty bad. Which sort of set my bias. It's not gonna last long, but yep, there it goes. Much sadness. I suppose from the perspective of like someone good at the game, Theo wouldn't be very good, because if you're like surviving real well, then her respawning every time with a heavy machine gun, that's useless. Damn, this is chaos. Oh. Oh. Goddamn it, game. Suck. Jesus Christ, this is chaos. With a 2P, this wouldn't be too bad. It's not Monday, so I suppose you're not in Australia. It is literally Monday in Australia, as in for the last 60 seconds. But no, Super Robo Sunday will still be happening as usual. Oh, we had a good run of the actual Metal Slug in one of the earlier stages of this. But yeah, it's usually a case of, like, if it comes up during a boss fight, it's not gonna last long. Because you've got to adapt to the altered control scheme while also trying to learn boss patterns. Yeah, the actual Super Robo Sunday will be on after we finish this. Take a short break after we finish this and do Endless Frontier Exceed.
Mission 4. Start. Heavy machine gun. Thank you.
The weapon swapping is nice, because it does mean if you pick up, like, a dud weapon, like the ground chaser, or something like that, like, you're not screwed. You can just tap back to something more useful. Because, like, for the earlier games, it just felt like a punishment if you picked up one of those weapons. Oh, that's not in the background. That's in the foreground. Like, one of these things, just... If you got that and it overwrote, like, a heavy machine gun or something like that. I did play some of Mercenary Kings, I think. It was free on the PSN at one point, wasn't it? Also, as for, like, I thought the Scott Pilgrim game was pretty good. Played it through several times. Assuming you mean Mercenary Kings and not Scott Pilgrim, so I'm gonna say it's a brawler, not a run and gun. I didn't play much of Mercenary Kings. I have almost no memory of it. Oh, really? That's how you're gonna do me, game? Okay, at least they gave me a respawning chicken. This thing's kind of awkward to control. Yeah, I knew that the Scott Pilgrim game was no longer available. I was never sure why. I have it on a PS3 hard drive that I don't... Well, I still have that hard drive, but it was on my original 60 gig PS3, which died. So my interactions with Scott Pilgrim is a bit weird. I have played the game multiple times. I have seen the movie a couple of times, and I have never read the books. Okay, this is all. Don't interact with the fans is generally the answer to all of life's problems. Girls, that's at least what I know of it. It doesn't seem like it'd be. It isn't like essentially the core concept. That, like, Scott's dating arguably a girl way too young. Another girl? This thing's insane. There's so much going on, and you've got so little actual room that you can stand. Cool design, though.
Mission complete. Mission 5, start. Heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun. Enemy laser.
I thought it was going to be a drop stage. At first, like, oh god, here we go. Oh wow. assume this is where those in-out pods came. It's like a weird tower defense dealie. Odd to turn Metal Slug into a tower defense game, but it's sort of a good use of like the really high quality sprite work. You're just recycling assets that are literally just recycling assets. Like it's oh yeah, whatever I don't remember what the phone game was called. As I said, it was okay, just not Metal Slug. It's like one of those cases of if there were still games being released, like actual Metal Slug games being released, then it'd be a fine little aside. But as it's like the only, like the phone games are the only actual releases in years, and that's not okay. It's like pachinko games. It's like if you're releasing pachinko games alongside of like actual games, sure, fine. All you're doing is just using your IP. That's fine. If all you're using your IP to do though is sell pachinko games, then we have a problem. There's only 2 Metal Slug mobile games, right? Basically the same game, just like updated? What the fuck is this nonsense? Oh, they were also released on PC? Oh, I did not know that. But wait, they were free to play, like, gacha games. How do they release on PC? Like, they weren't real video games. Just money mill mobile titles. This thing's kind of cool. Like this is a good game. Wasn't sure about like going into this. Wasn't sure how it was gonna turn out, but like this is actually pretty good.
Mission complete. Mission 6, start. Thank you. Rocket launcher.
Oh, these boys again. Some fucking Metal Max rejects. For a pain in the butt in the last game as well. Have I ever streamed Metal Max? I think I did some of Metal Max Xeno at one point, which is probably the worst of the Metal Max games.
Heavy machine gun.
Is this gonna be the most continues we use on a single game? God damn it, I survived all that bullshit to be killed by a simple fucking grenadier right at the end. I say grenadier like it's a bad thing. I always did enjoy grenadiers and Red Alert. Very, very dangerous to your own units, though. I like these guys. They're just re-sprites, but they're like goofy sci-fi guys, which I'm super down for. Anyone that follows my Twitter will know I have been watching a lot of the original Ultraman recently, which is very goofy sci-fi. It's fantastic. That was a bit cheap, game.
Heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun.
Oh, idiot. Yeah, I've really been enjoying Ultraman. Even the budget episodes are pretty good. Some of them are definitely budget, but they work well with their limited budget. It's just weird to call like one of the really budget episodes because it was literally a case of they had no budget for a set of the episodes. Not literally no budget, but minimal budget. But one of the budget episodes was the episode where they had the original Godzilla suit, and it was a budget episode because they borrowed the original Godzilla suit. So obviously saved on all the production cost of having to actually make a kaiju suit for that episode. but like it's just weird in a sort of mentality sense to think of like the Godzilla episode was a budget episode. There's another episode they did that was in the sort of like budget range that was a like full-on invasion of Earth. Not obviously not heavily depicted full-on invasion of Earth, but the Baltans go full Earth invasion in one of the budget episodes. That was cool because it had this sort of a double kaiju, but two of the same kaiju. But they like went to space. Had some real cheesy space scenes. It was great. Oh my! Oh baby! Turns out it was Super Robo Sunday all along. This thing's cool as fuck. Oh man, look at it like break as it takes more. Ah, this is sick. And it, oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's such a good way to handle respawning. Yeah! It's Ani! With the classic music! See you in hell. Oh, that was so cool!
Mission complete. Final mission start.
Oh, I walked into it. Oh, nice. We got the Hadouken guy. Watch as we immediately die and lose the Hadouken guy. Okay, the Hadouken guy just as you introduce a new enemy. Jesus. Rocket launcher. God damn, those guys take a bit of firepower, don't they? Are we going through the portal? We're just destroying it. Oh, I didn't realize the game was active. I thought it was doing spray signals. King. Good lord. Fucking useless drop shot. know. Final bosses on unstable platforms. This is some Dr. Eggman shit. This isn't gonna be like 8 tentacles, is it? Oh my, it is. Oh, good lord.
Heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun.
The only problem with this is, like, knowing what tentacle does what. I don't think this was in a previous game. There was a light version of this as the first boss in this game. This is what I mean. Like, this is a cool boss. It's just that, like, there's no way you're going to know ahead of time how to react to the different arms, because they all look the same. You really just need to know its pattern.
Heavy machine gun. Grenade.
Fight the core. Shoot you, I assume. I do like the return to the classic music, that's good. Ah. Nice trick. It came out a bit quicker than I was expecting. That was a cool boss as well. I think I've said that for basically every
Mission complete.
every boss in this game was really good.
Mission all over.
$48. Not the worst, but close. I knew it was gonna be high. We got fucking diddled. The worst was, ironically, my favorite game, Metal Slug 3, which was 50 cc's. That was really good. Why don't people talk more highly about Metal Slug 7/XX? I'd almost go so far as to say that was the best of the, like, new games. Maybe 5. 5 was really good. And, like, I knew it was going to be short, but the problem was we'd already passed, like, I'd already been playing for 6 hours when we finished Anthology yesterday. I didn't want to do another hour. This was just going to be a short, Metal Slug run. As I said, I plan to just take a short break, probably, well, I need time to, like, set up the stream stuff for Super Robo Sunday, but I'll take a short break as well, get drink, that sort of stuff. Oh, what? That's a bit disappointing. It doesn't have the usual A, B, C, D, E, F, G crew on the scores. Anyway. As I said, I just wanted to do XX/7 so that we had all the Metal Slug games done, and now it is done. Honestly, this is really good. Why don't more people talk about this game? Maybe the arcade version wasn't very good? I don't know. This is called XX rather than 7, and the last Metal Slug X was an improvement over the arcade version, so maybe the arcade version of 7 wasn't very good, but at least the PSP version of Metal Slug XX is really good. Honestly, like, up there with the originals. That's about all I got to say, really. Yeah. As I said, I'll take a short break. If you're on the Twitch, keep the Twitch open and the stream will go live once I hit the go live button. If you're over on YouTube, keep an eye out for the splash page for the next stream. Should hopefully be up within 5 minutes. But yeah, for now, that is all. hopefully y'all can join me in the next stream over that way. Look forward to it.